Hey guys, my name is Rick Verde, and I'm here to talk to you about writing your first book. So, you guys have a new idea for a book in your head, okay? And this is great because the world needs creativity in it. But this is the thing, I'm here to warn you because I don't want you being frustrated that your idea isn't being turned into some grand movie, some Hollywood blockbuster, that your book isn't being sold at Barnes and Nobles, isn't flying off the shelves, that Amazon isn't pushing it out the doors, isn't getting mailed everywhere. It's, it's just not selling the way you want it to. That's just not going to happen, okay? For the most part, writers shouldn't write if they want to be millionaires. It's just not going to happen. We are writers because we want people to read what we're writing. And if you're expecting any more than that, you're delusional. You should be happy that people are reading your work. You should be happy that after all you've done, that someone has taken the time out of their day to read your words, to get inside your head, to understand the characters and the world you have created. And you should be happy with that anybody has done this, okay? It is hard to do this. And you are taking hours out of your life to put this all on paper for this moment to happen. I mean, it took me a long time to get my first novel completed. And I was so ecstatic when my first book arrived at my house for me to look over. I mean, it was an achievement I never thought would happen. I was writing from the time I was 8 years old, and I am now 39. I know I look like I'm 20, and there's a lot of women out there that right now are not very happy because they thought they can date me, but I'm sorry, I'm old and I'm married. Um, but yeah, I'm sorry. I'm 39, but it's a long journey. So don't expect your book to be turned into a movie. I'm not expecting it. I'm not expecting my book to sell ridiculous. I'm not the next Stephen King. I'm not the next Harlan Coben, Matthew Riley, James Patterson. I'm not going to work with Bill Clinton, Barack Obama. I'm sure as heck not going to work with George W. Bush or George Bush. And I'm sure as heck not going to try to work with Donald Trump. So, that being said, um, just be happy someone's reading your book. Just be happy that you've achieved a goal. Now, after all that, you have to decide, are you willing to sit down in front of a computer for hours on end to write this? Take the time to think about that after everything I've told you. Okay, are you ready? Okay. What type of personality are you? I am an accountant by day. I love me some spreadsheets. Budgets, budgets, budgets. All my budgets are on spreadsheets. I drive my wife nuts with spreadsheets. She is an artist. She teaches at a school as an art teacher. She is not into budgets and she's not into spreadsheets. She is anti spreadsheets. So take the two of us, and you will hear this all the time. Plotters versus pantsers. Hearing that, take my wife and take me and try to figure out who is what. I am a plotter My wife is a pantser. She is a fly by night type person. Just wing it. Just to hell with it. Just do it. I am a plotter. Put it on a spreadsheet. Chapter 1, my character does this. My protagonist needs to say this. This has to happen. My antagonist has to do this in chapter 2 for it to flow to chapter 3 for this to happen. And chapter 4, this has to happen in chapter 5, blah, 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 for chapter 6. Now, that's just not to say that if a thought comes into my head, I won't insert it into a chapter, but that means I have to fix up all the other chapters and blah, 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 blah. So, what is the advantages and disadvantages? Well, the one thing I love about pantsers are they can just sit at a computer and it is a marvel. I mean, they just sit there and they go da 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 da, and they fly, and they're at 1 hour. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and chapter 1, and by 6 o'clock they're on chapter 10, and they have this great story going on, and it's moving and it's gripping, and the characters are well developed. But then they hit chapter 11 and it's like running into a brick wall at 60 miles an hour, and they have no idea where to go from there. And then it's beep, and you're like, well, what now? What do you do? And they look at you and they go, I haven't the faintest clue. And you try to give them ideas and they look at you like you're a moron. So that's the one problem with pantsers. Now, the problem with plotters, like I explained earlier, I have everything plotted down. I have everything on a spreadsheet. But then I have an idea, or I run into a brick wall, and all of a sudden I go, oh, back in chapter 3, this would fix the problem I'm happening in chapter 20. Well, now I need to go back and fix everything that happened in chapter 3, and chapter 3 becomes chapter 4, and chapter 4 becomes chapter 5, and chapter 5 becomes chapter this, blah, 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 and it all goes back down, and now I gotta fix everything and push everything back. Okay, so that's the problem. So, you have to decide what type of person you want to be. Now, I have heard some people say they like to be a hybrid. I have yet to meet a hybrid. If you're out there, leave me a little note down there how you do it. I have yet to meet a hybrid. I don't know what you call yourself. Is it a planter? Eat the heck out of me. I would like to know how you do it. It'd be interesting. So just decide. It's basically your personality. Just figure it all out. From there, I mean, you just have to really put in the work. Just come up with ideas. Try to be unique. Try to find your voice. Try to think of some idea that, I mean, you're never going to come up with an idea that's unique, okay? Like, that's totally original to you. So stop thinking about that, because I've been in chat rooms, like Facebook chat rooms. Try to get into those. Try to join as many as those chat rooms as you can, because it's great, especially if you're a pantser, because you'll get some ideas from people and it'll help you out. But stop thinking you're coming up with a unique idea. There's no such thing as a unique idea. Every story has been told. Every single story you are writing has been told before in some way. What is different is your voice. You are unique. You are the unique one. Nothing else. Your story, your characters, everything else, not unique. Every character is the same. has been told before. Every character has been written the same before. Every villain is the same as before. Um, but the way you tell the story, the words you use, how you put them together, that makes you unique. Try to be that. Uh, so just go into as many Facebook uh, groups and try to help each other out. It's a really good community. I've been in many of them, and it's a good community when you have a good administrator in that community. I've been in some where the administrator, it's almost like they're kind of like Hitlerish, where you can't say, like, they'll rip you apart on some of your writing, but God forbid you say something about their writing, then it's like, shut up, or they'll kick you out. Stay away from those. But there are some that are very good. You can post some of your writings in there. Uh, no one's going to steal your stuff. I'm not saying post your whole book, but maybe you want to post a chapter in there, or maybe you have like a paragraph that you're not feeling and you can't figure it out how to write it. So you post that paragraph in there, and people will give you suggestions. They might say, "Hey, why don't you try writing it like this?" Or "Why don't you try doing this?" Um, and maybe something will click, and you go, "Hey, that's a great idea. I didn't even think about that." Writers are a really good community, and we all care about each other. We all want to see each other succeed. But again, you're don't get it in your head that you're going to be a millionaire from this. I'm an accountant by day. I do this because I love writing. I don't go and check my. I have my book was published through CreateSpace, and I have an ebook through KDP. Um, and you can check how many books you sold and where you're at. You can also go through Amazon and check where your standings are. I don't do that because there are people who do that and they go, "Oh my God, my book standing right now is at 150,000 out of whatever in this category. Why isn't it selling?" Well, who cares? You wrote it because you wanted to write something. You wanted to put something out there for the world. Why do you care if it's 150,000? Uh, People are buying it. It's out there for everybody. Just be happy. You know, you did it for the love. If you did it for any other reason, then it's pathetic. Just do it for the love. If by any chance it becomes something more, then God bless you. Just you were lucky. You're lucky in this world that something you put out there out of love became something more. Think of a book as your child. If it becomes something great and unique and becomes filthy rich, then God bless you. You're lucky. All you hope for is that someone takes a look at it and says it's special and it's unique and they loved it. Um, so just think of it that way. Oh, by the way, I'm not sponsored by Coca-Cola. This shirt was 2 for $10 at J.C. Penney's. Okay, so please don't leave a comment saying, "Hey, he's sponsored by Coca-Cola." I'm not. Um, I'm actually pretty broke, and I go for T-shirts that are cheap. I got a bunch of Aerosmith T-shirts, Smashing Pumpkins T-shirts, and all that. So next time you see me, I probably will be wearing a Smashing Pumpkins T-shirt or a Wookiee T-shirt, maybe even a Mets shirt. Being that originally from New Jersey, I'm a Mets fan or a Giants fan. So that being said, another thing you want to do, you cannot be a writer without reading. Reading is fundamental. Remember that in school they taught us that when we were little. I don't know how old you are if you're watching this video, but I grew up in the 80s and it was pounded into our head by Nancy Reagan. Reading is fundamental. That was hers. Every you know woman that was in the White House was the wife of the president was always like pounding something into her head, and hers was like reading is fundamental. Reading is fundamental, and that was her thing. I think Laura Bush was something about drugs. I really don't remember, and I don't remember what Hillary Clinton's was. First ladies, that's what I meant to say. Not women in the White House, but first ladies. They always had something. Hillary Clinton, I don't remember what the heck she was doing, but she was doing something. Um, so just read, and when you come to done when you're done with your book and you're creating your um, the cover for your book, if you decide to do it yourself, uh, if you choose to do it yourself, you can download templates and whatever. When you go through the back, uh, try to find a book that you love that's in the same genre, something that you would read, something you would pick up, and read what it says in the back. Read a couple of them. I tend to read a lot of mystery, crime thrillers, things of action. I'm a big Matthew Riley fan. Harlan Coben. Harlan Coben actually spoke at my graduation at Kean University in Union, New Jersey, or Kean, Kean. I know people give me a lot of junk because I say Kane. It's Kean or whatever. Um, I read a lot of his stuff, and I try to mimic a lot of things I read on the back. So when I did my book, I mimicked it, and that helped. You might want to use something called Upwork.com. On there, there are a lot of professionals. There's also some people who are amateurs, and you can use them to edit your book because once you're done writing, you will edit. Don't think just because you finished it once, you wrote the book, you're done. You have to edit. Once you're done editing, you will re-edit. Once you're done re-editing, you will re-edit again. And then when you're done that, you will send it out to edit once more. And once that edit comes back, you will edit the edit. You will be sick of your book. Seriously. Ugh. I got tired of my book. Oh, I wanted to burn the damn thing. Seriously. I think it's a crime. No, but you will get tired of your book after a while. Um, you can get them to do your cover. You can get them to edit. Depends really how much you want to pay for it. Um, if you want to get an amateur, you could pay like $50. I mean, you decide how much you want to pay. You put on there, hey, I want someone to edit my book, and this is how much I'm willing to pay. I'm looking for someone who's an amateur. So you can do that for $50. And they will do it and blah, 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 and come back. Or you can pay for an expert and say, I'm willing to pay $50 an hour. I'm willing to cap it at whatever, at $500. So they got 10 hours to edit your book, and you're going to pay $500 to edit. You can do the same thing with the cover. I'm willing to pay $500 for a great cover, and you can tell them exactly what you're looking for. You can tell them what your book is about, and you can say, I want to use these type of images. I want to do this. I want my photo in the back. I want this. I want that, whatever. Or you can say, hey, this is what my book's about. Go crazy. Be creative. Do what you got to do. Sometimes, and you'll get like proposals. They'll say, you'll get like a bunch of proposals, and they'll send you things they've done before. And you can just look it over and pick someone. Hire somebody right on the spot, and they'll send you their stuff and whatever. But you got to put your money up front, though. Otherwise, you can't. You have to put the money right up front. So if it's $500 that you're saying you're willing to pay, $500 up front. So that being said, is done. You can watch videos online like YouTube, like you're watching right now. You're watching my video to get some ideas. That's cool. There are other people on here that are pretty good. The one person I watched a lot, and she helped me a lot, her name is Vivian Reese. Reis is her last name. She's really good. She does fantasy books. I haven't read any of her books, so I'm not saying her books are good, and I'm not saying they're bad. So don't anybody go on her site or her page and say that I said her books are bad. I never said that. I'm saying her videos are good. She does very good videos to help out first-time writers. She has a really good collection of videos. I'm just starting to make videos now to help out people. I just went through all this with my first book, uh, which right now I'm going to show you. It's called Killing Xenu. And there goes my name, Rick Verde. And that right there, my actual name is Ricardo Lopez, but I took Rick because I hate my first name. And everybody always calls me Rick. And Verde is in honor of my mother who passed away. Her name was Verde. Well, her maiden name was Verde. And Verde is Spanish for green, my favorite color. So, this is my book, Killing Xenu, and you can find it on Amazon.com. So now, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And if you like my video, you can subscribe. I'll be putting out more videos on writing. And you can also ring the bell. So anytime one of my videos comes out, you will be, told, I guess, a little bell will pop up or whatever. You'll know. So again, if you have any questions, down below, any comments, down below. But again, the most important thing I want you to take away from this is that you may not be the next Stephen King. Write for love. Read, 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 read. Always read. Because that is the most important thing right now. I am reading a collection of Philip K. Dick's books. In case you don't know who that is, a bunch of his books have been turned into movies. One of them was Minority Report, and one of them was Total Recall. Actually, he wrote short stories, and they just got blown up into movies, and a bunch of them were classics. So, just read and write. Use your imagination. Decide what type of writer you want to be. Decide what type of books you want to read. And have fun in the process. Also, one thing I want to tell you, some good tools to use. Don't just use Microsoft Word spell checker. There's Hemingway that you can use. That is a very, very good thing that you can use online that helps you with your spell check and run-on sentences and just helps it make it easier for people to read. That is a very good tool to use. So I recommend using Hemingway. It helped me out a lot. So use Hemingway. Again, like I said, leave me any comments. Thank you.